frustrating. So when I formatted it, right, so I lost my Anaconda as a result. I was trying to download it again, but unfortunately, there are still some obstacles I'm facing currently, and I wish hopefully before next class, that's tomorrow, I will be able to download it. So today we'll be using Google Colab. I think I've mentioned how to use Google Colab the other time. Is this your first time? Have you heard about Google Colab before? Please can you give me to an emoji or just a minute, make sure I can move on.
I think we've heard about Google Colab before. In the first class, you mentioned that.
Exactly. So I was trying to say, I said it the other day that Google Colab is the online ID version of Anaconda. So that one uses data connection before internet connection before you can operate it, but you don't need to install or download an IDE. So I'll just log into my Google Colab. So I just press my Google Colab. I think okay, press it here. So Google Colab, then you press the first one, you click on the first one. So, okay. So obviously, because I'm into a new notebook, so I'll just click on this plus new notebook. But it doesn't matter. Whatever we do here, you can replicate the same thing in your offline IDE, which is Anaconda, or if you are using VS Studio, whatever you are using, any IDE you are using, the code is the same, right? So it doesn't matter because Sheet2 is using Google Colab, it will not work in Anaconda. No, it's the same thing, it's the same code, right? So I think I've explained this the first time. So I just want to do a little recap about what we've learned the other time. So I think I have okay, let's start like this. This is how to actually upload data on Google Colab. So I've downloaded a data here. You can see Nigerian EHR interoperability. I will not be sending this one, right? I will not be sending this file because um it's actually against private code. This is actually what do you call it? It's actually a data set I'm using for a hospital. Let's check it. Let's check it too so we can understand what we're saying. So we're trying, I was trying to scale an hospital data. So it is kind of private. So I'll not be spending this so much now. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's taking this long. Okay, I think it should work now. I don't know what's happening the other time. Okay. So we can see it's just so majorly it is private information about patients. As you can see their age, their gender, then it's actually Nigerian hospital. You can see just it's a private stuff, right? So basically, let me just explain the data because we'll still be using it. So majorly, it's more about a data set where people are being referred to other hospitals due to probably they need some medical um aid that's not present in the first hospital. So let's say FMC is referring this person to Just University Hospital. Why? No, the diagnosis is just to I don't want to go into detail. So what's the reason for transfer? They need blood transfusion. Probably FMC does not have the equipment or the enough facility for sepsis treatment. So they are not referring this particular person to just university teaching hospital. So kind of, it's actually a real data set, right? Well, it's I will not be sending it probably. So this is just the data we'll be using today. So how do I upload these data sets? So the first thing I right click on my data set, then go to my properties, then you can see my security details. Then you can actually copy the path here, right? So copy the path there, or let me just upload it on my. Let's do that that way. So we can see this folder here. I can just click on this folder. So I simply this. Sorry, can I read? Okay, so we actually see some four stuff like this, which is what I was finding the other time. So we can click on this one. We can see upload to storage section storage. We can see Google Drive. Then the one what I want to use here is just I want to upload my file. So what's my file? My file is actually Nigerian EHR interoperability. So I'll double click on this one. Then okay, so I will allow it to. It is already loading here. So I will allow it to load. So when it load, I can actually see it on my Google Colab environment. So it's already loading. So let's give it a little bit more time. So okay, it's already loaded here. So I can just click on the three dots. When I hover my mouse over there, I can click my mouse on the three dots. Then I can copy path. So when I copy path, I can just click something like this. Okay. Now I'm getting this because it is actually my first time using Google Colab, and that's why I'm getting this particular thing. I will just click on continue. Oh, sorry, what's happening? Okay, so I want to write something like import pandas. I think I've told us now. Import pandas as speedy. Right. One beautiful thing about Pandas is that can you see it is actually recommending what am I trying to write? It is actually giving me okay suggestion. So I can just click on my tab key and it is writing it for me. So I can just click on display to run the cell or control enter. So it is done now. You can see 0 seconds. That's pretty fast. So I can click on this plus code. Let me just cancel this one and probably increase the tests. Yeah, so we can see it better. No, that's too much. Okay. So I can just click on plus code here. So what do I want to do? I want to do pd dot read csv, which is what we've been doing since this day. Read csv, open brackets, the quotation mark, then control enter. So there's an error. There's error. Okay. I want to okay. Let me copy the path again. Okay. I don't know. What have I done differently? So it has run anyway. So one thing I want us to notice, not to be near is that let me write this down. So I can see I not put an R here the other time. The other time I was telling us that you can put you have to put a R here, R letter. But in this case, it's not necessarily, which is what I was trying to tell you the other time, that it's not necessarily that whenever you copy the part, you have to put an R in front of it. So it depends on the ID you are working with, and you can see the example here. I don't add an R, and you can see it is actually working perfectly fine. So I can just click on my plus code here. So I can call on my DF so I can see the code and the data I've loaded, right? So the first thing is, what if I want to see the first 5 rows? What would be the columns? Just let it be interactive. What would be the command, or what do we call it? What would be the attribute or method I will be calling? I want to see the first five row. Anyone to come, I'll mute their mic.
df dot add into bracket.
You guys forgot already.
df dot add.
Thank you. We're using df dot because the first five row, actually that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So I just want to write
Yeah.
5. So I can see I'm actually seeing my first 5 rows here. How can I remove this thing? I don't know, there's no way I can remove it. So okay, we can see we have our first 5 rows. What if I want to see the last rows? What will be the command? df dot what? I want to see the last row, last 5 rows. That's what.
Dot tail.
Thank you. That will be tail. Then I have to specify. So this 5 because you want to see the last 5. Let's say we want to see only the columns. What will be the command there? We want to see only the column header. What are the column header we have in this particular stuff here? What are the columns we have? So you press dot what? Dot columns.
No
You said it
column.
the other day. Yeah. Okay. Do I need to add brackets or no not? So
No.
we actually don't need to add that. So when I click it, then I can actually see the whole column header we add. We have timestamp, we have patient ID, we have patient name, and all of those things. So we also have what else we do the last time? Okay, let's get some information about this. You can just click on df.info with the brackets. So you can get some information about this particular data set. You can see the timestamp is an object, patient ID is an object. You can see the age is integer, gender objects. I told us the last time that anything we meant by object means what string. So we can see we only have all of our data type are objects as string except integer, except this age, right? That's good. And we can see we don't have any null value. Null value means empty space. So we have 19,026 rows. I mean, everything is filled here. Oh, we actually have, oh, sorry. We can see we have referred hospital. We have 19,025. That means there is an empty space. And that is the significance of this info. We can get some information about this particular data set. So actually get the number of columns and rows. We can just do df dot shape. Do I need to add bracket or I don't need to add bracket after it?
No bracket.
Yeah, no bracket. So I can just do my control enter. Then I can actually see we have 19,026 rows and 20 columns, which is basically what we did the last time. So let's say, let me look at the data again. If I want to recall this one on this particular row, how do I call it? So this row 0, what this 0, 1, 2, 3 is what we call index. We'll talk more about it today. This 0, 1, we can see it in bold fonts. We can see 0, 1, 2, 3. All this numbering is what we call index. So let's say I want to call this row 0 the first row, I want to call it. So that's where we were talking about the loc function the other time, LOC. So to call the first row, so I'll be doing dot loc. What am I calling? Remember, I'm using the square brackets. I'm calling the first row, right? So I can see. So when I call 0, so it is running. How many seconds? Okay, you can see I've gotten the first one, which is part 87924. So let's confirm. 87924. Can we see? We've gotten all the information about that particular guy. Right, so we've gotten information and yeah, let's say I don't need all these things, right? I just need the patient's name and probably the age. So I can just put on this after this index column. So what do I need? What are the columns that I need? I need the age column. And what is the next thing? What's the last thing I said again? I guess gender. So I'll pass that in the list. So this one is actually standing for the rows. Okay, what row do you want? I want row 0, but return what columns? Return only age and gender column. Basically, that's what this function is. Control enter. Then I can actually see. Oh, I mean, there's a mistake here. Oh, this is actually supposed to be in columns, in quotation marks, sorry. Okay, we can see I'm getting the age and the, sorry, age and gender. Okay, age 6, gender male. Okay, for zero, the age is 6 and the gender is male. So basically, I'm getting it. So that's what we literally discussed the last time. Do we have any question about the last time? Can we move on? Oh my goodness, what's happening? My
Yes, we
computer
can move on.
just, oh, I
You
don't
can
know,
move.
my computer just, can you hear me? My computer just literally shut down. It's coming up again. Uh, please just give it a minute. I
Okay.
honestly don't know why.
Okay.
Okay, I'm joining now. I'm so sorry for what happened. I don't know what's happening to this computer. It's getting hot. Okay, so we're trying to do something. So let's rerun everything. Let me just go here. So let me just run everything. Okay, I was trying to correct this mistake the other time. I think I did actually, haven't I? Okay. So basically, that's how to solve. That's basically what we covered the last time we met. Do you have any question, any stuff before we move on? Because we're actually moving on to the technical aspect of data analysis. Yeah, can we move on?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So today, you're welcome. So today we'll be doing sorting. So I told us that if you want to actually write in Google Colab, instead of using hash, which I've been using in Anaconda, so I can just click on, if I click on this borderline, can you see? They're actually asking me, do I want to code or do I want to text? So in this time, I just want to text. So I want to write sorting. So because basically that's what we're doing now. Yeah, enter. So let's move on. Okay, before we actually need this, I need to tell us how to create a table. So we've actually been importing data, right? Which is not supposed to be the first thing I actually teach you. The first thing is how can you actually create your own table? Let's say we just want to create a small sample data instead of us importing data from importing something like real life data or stuff. So how do we actually import real data from how do you actually create our own table too? So to create a table, actually table is a dictionary. I think I've actually taught us what a dictionary is, and I understand that a lot of people, a lot of us know what a dictionary is. So we starting with a dictionary, how to create a table. Sorry, I'm just trying to get some things right. Okay. Okay, let's get a table here. Let's say people equals to. Okay, to create a dictionary. So I want it to be an interactive class. Create a dictionary, what type of bracket will I use? Is it square bracket? Is it normal parentheses or is it curly brackets? You guys are not watching this video. Hello, is anyone there? Okay, we use curly bracket. There's no actually time. So to create curly brackets, that's basically what we dictionary means keys and values, right? I said this in our first class or second class. I can't remember currently. So we have keys and values. So let's say last name. Last, so it has to be in quotation mark because it's a string. So last, right? So you have to put this quotation column mark. Is it column? Yeah, you have to put this column symbol. Then you have to write your okay last. Let's put it in a list because I'm writing more than name. That's last name basically. Let's write last name. Last name. So let's say last name we have Shitsu, we have Ahmed, we have color. So I want it to be very simple. So the next thing, after last name, I want the first name also. I want the first name, right? So I want to create another list. Basically, this is the column header, right? This is the column header. This is the last name. Whenever we have the last name, we have Shitu, Ahmed. These are the last name. So for first name, we have let's say we have Goke. We have Ola. Then we have Tope. So let's create what else? Let's say age. Okay, it's giving me a suggestion, so I just want to click on tab. So that's one sweet thing about Google Colab. So Control Enter. So I've actually created this stuff people dot people dictionary. So whenever I call last name, I can actually see if I'm creating a table. That means whenever I call under my last name, these are the values that will be there. Under my first name, these are the values that will be there. Under my age, these are the values that will be there. So how do you convert this one um into a table? So we just do something like, so we've actually imported pandas, right? So let me do it again. So I don't want so import pandas as PD. So let's run this. So we now write something like PD dot data frame, right? Because this particular what we've created, it is actually a dictionary. So this df that we've been writing all this while is actually data frame. That is, pandas convert this thing into a data frame. What am I converting into a data frame? People. One thing about Google Colab is actually giving me suggestion. Is this what you want to write? If this is what I want to write, I can just click on my tab key and I can actually see that it's actually writing it for me. So Control Enter. So everything has been converted into a data frame, and I can actually see my last name, Shitu, my Shitu Ahmed Kola, which was what I've written in this particular place. So we have first name, we have Goke Olatope, which is what I've written here. Then we have our age 20, 30, 40, which is what I've written here. So basically, do you understand how to create table now? So please let's be interactive. Why guys
Yes, yes.
hold today? So basically, that's how to write a table. So you turn a dictionary into a table. So these keys are what turn into our column header, and these values are what we turn into um, columns value. So column values. So let's move on. So we want to do sorting today. From the
Sorry,
word
before you move
sorting,
on,
we want to add. Okay. Someone is
hello,
asking a
can you hear me?
question. Yes, I
Yes.
can hear
What
you.
if you have like a large data and want to create a table for them? Use this same method.
No, if it is a large data, you will import it as we've been importing it. No, this is almost
Okay.
how
You
many
don't
value?
create you don't create it here like this.
Okay, if you want to create like a large
Large, yeah,
like 50,000 rows,
yes.
ah, that's not. I don't see a situation where you will need to create a 50,000 rows. But if there is something you don't want to do it here, you want to do it in Excel, you want to type all the stuff, then when you are done with Excel, you import it into your Google Lab or any ID you are using.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
You understand?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, but if it is for a small data set, let's say like 10 rows, 20 rows, you may just want to do it on your IDE, maybe Google Colab, maybe Anaconda, maybe VS Studio, whatever you are using. But if it is just like if it is like 50,000, it's not what you want to type with your hand. You want to use probably Excel or something that is just faster, maybe Google Sheet and stuff like that. So when you are done, you convert it into CSV, then you will upload your CSV as as usual. So let's move on. So from the word sorting, right? Sorting means arranging our data sets. So one thing about data analysis is, even though we've created um a table, we still need to present the table in a way people that we're actually presenting this table will actually make sense out of it. So we have Shitu, Ahmed, and Kola. So let's say I want this Ahmed to be, I want to arrange this stuff in alphabetical order. So I want Ahmed, then after Ahmed, I want to see Kola, then Shitu. Probably you want this thing in salary range. This thing usually plays out a lot in salary. So you want to know who are earning higher than who, who are earning the least, who are earning the highest. So probably who are earning the least, you want to give them a promotion or you want to raise their salary value. So you just want to arrange them or stuff like that. Or let's say, for example, you want to know, okay, who are indebted to pay tax. So how do you do? You have to arrange it in descending order. The income of the citizen. You want to arrange them in descending order. Okay, probably if you are paying above 400,000, 800,000 naira. That's Nigerian law. If you're earning above 800,000 naira, you should pay some amount, some percentage of tax. So how do you want to do this if everything is scattered? So that's what brings about sorting. You want to sort your data. You want to know, okay, I want to arrange my data in descending order or in ascending order. And that's basically what we want to do today. Um, so this basically is simple. So we just write something like this. So you start with um BF. So okay, let me save my this one with DF. So when I call DF now, so DF refers to the table, right? So I've saved it with the table. So I can just write what's happening. What is that? I'm not even pressing that place. DF dot. What are we trying to do? We are trying to sort values, Abby. So this thing is actually giving me a series of options that we have. So but I want to do sort values. I'm trying to sort values. So I can see we have sort index or sort values. So let's actually start with sort index. That means probably I want to arrange them 0, 1, 2. This is the index, the one with both fonts. But obviously everything is arranged um in everything is arranged alphabetically or in order in their sort index, where you can actually click on sort index. So when you click on sort index, let me just so I can actually see it is returning the same because obviously everything is arranged in index. So let's go back to what I want to write actually. So sort values. So you can actually see something like it's giving me sort values, which is why I love this thing. Sort values. The next one will be what? By. So by. I want to arrange them by last name. So we want to write by what columns? What column? I want to arrange them by last name. Remember, Python is case sensitive. So L and N are in capital letter, while the other are in small letter. So we want to write something like last name. So let's do Control Enter. So you can actually see we have Ahmed, Kola, Shitsu. That's in alphabetical order. We've sorted it in alphabetical order. So let's say we have something like, what if you want to sort it in descending order? That is, I want to see Shitsu first, then followed by Kola, then followed by Ahmed. So you can actually just put comma here. After you are done, let's read what we've written here. DF, that is this particular table, sort values, that is sort this value. What particular value? What columns are we trying to sort? We are trying to sort the last column, last name column. Okay, by last name column, which is what is giving us here. But we want to click on ascending. When you write something like ascending, so if you look at something like this, you can see what do you call this thing? I forgot. I think they call it dictionary also. So if you look at ascending here, I can't see ascending, but there's ascending there. Okay, I think I see it. So ascending, we can see something like ascending, and we can see default equals to 2. That is normally, even if I'd not had ascending here, that means ascending is already 2. Right, that is it's already arranged, it will be arranged ascending, that it will have in ascending order, sorry, it will be arranged in ascending order, that is it will be arranged in alphabetical order. But in this case, I want it to be in descending order. So you want to write something like ascending equals to false, sorry, ascending equals to false, then close your brackets, control enter. So you can actually see we are seeing Shitsu, Kola, Ahmed. Everything is arranged in descending order. Now, what if you not had this ascending? If you not have add this ascending, IDE or Google Color will think ascending equals to 2, because that's how it is actually set. It is preset already. So you have to, if you want it in descending order, you have to state it out as ascending equals to false, and that's basically how to sort. So basically that's very easy. So I want someone to unmute their mic and tell me, I want to sort this first name in what do we call it, in ascending order. So what will be the code I will write? So let's make that, should be very fast and easy. Anyone should unmute their mic. So
df dot
DF dot
sort
sort.
value.
Okay.
df dot sort values. So remember, sort values are so sort value. Okay,
open bracket
open brackets
by
by. So now
equals to
we are sorting values. Now I've made a mistake actually. This sort value should not, this V should not be in capital letter, should be in
okay.
small letter. So by what column? What column are we trying to use here?
First name.
So we are using first name. Remember, Excel is this thing is case sensitive,
Yes,
so you have
sir.
to write it. Okay, first name. So what we're trying to do is it ascending or descending order?
You have ascending order.
So if I should run it like this, obviously I'll get it in ascending order.
Yes,
So we can see in
yes.
ascending order, which O before G, or there's a mistake there. Oh, I don't know why we are getting this mistake, honestly. Okay, I think I understand it bit well. Let's move on. Ascending equals to what? Let me write it. Ascending equals to 2. I don't know why it's giving us this, but let's say we want to rearrange it in descending order. Let's see what will give us. So TGO. Okay. Feel like I understand a bit, but I don't know the reason. So what I understand by this is because probably because we've actually arranged this one. How do we call it? We call it double sorting. That's kind of advanced a little bit. But let's try another one. Let's try to do it on our columns here, the one we imported. So let's read this one with. Remember, this DF, I've overwrite it. This DF is now denoting the. Sorry, let me get this guys away. Okay, I've overwritten this DF. So this DF is actually we've denoted to mean the table we created, right? So to actually read this particular table again, so let's just change this one to data. So whenever I call on data, so this is what I'll be seeing. So control enter. So if I call on data now, if I should call on the df.add, it will be returning what we've written because df means the df, the one we created, the table we created, then return the edge. And it's not up to 5, and that's why it is returning just 3 rows. So if I should write data.edge now, can we see? Which is what we denote by this particular pathway. So let's use it on our particular data sets. So let's see. I want to sort what column. So let's say we want to sort a column. So it has to be data dot sort values, right? Data dot sort values by what is the columns there again? So let's sort it by age. Okay, there is everything is in small data. By age. So I'm trying to get the age. So we can see we start from 1111. So you can actually write something like dots. So that is return first 50 rows. So I can see even the first 50, they are of one, they are 1 years old, and that's why I'm saying 1 1 1. Actually, everything is running very well here, which is why I don't understand why the other one was not working. So basically, that's how to sort in ascending order and descending order. So in case you want to sort in descending order, right, you can just write ascending. Ascending equals to what?
Equals to
So equals,
first.
so we can see the oldest patient we have here is 90 years. So you can actually make an inference that this particular data set is between 1 to 90 years old, right? So we have 90 years old guy, 19 years old. So I feel like that would be, yeah, okay. The last 50 guys are 90 years old. So that would be the highest patient we have in Julian Hospital. Okay. So let's move on. That's basically how to sort data set. It's pretty easy. So where's so how do you get so basically this code is just to insert more cells in case you don't understand it before. So it's just to insert more cells. Um, so you can also write something like this. df dot um so if I write something like this, df dot df is okay. Can you see? We all understand what DF means, right? DF is the table we created. Why data is the one we imported. Both of them are different data sets in the same ID. So you can actually work with that. So we have DF. If I should call this one, now DF in square brackets, calling the column's name, calling the column name, that is DF. If I should call this DF again alone, I'm trying to break it down as simple as possible. This is all the DF value. These are all the values we have in our DF. But if I should put a square bracket and I put a column, then I call on the age, that is in this DF, I don't need everything, but I only need the age column, right? So I only need the age column. So this one, so it is returning only the age column for me. So assuming I need the age column and the first name, so I'll just put this one in my list. So first name. So oh, there's a mistake. This is how the first name is written. There's a mistake somewhere. Like I'm actually supposed to add another list here. Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. I need to add double because this is actually more than one. So I have to add the inner list and the outer list, right? So basically that's why it is returning an error. So basically you can see we can see it is returning the age and the first name, which is what we want. So in case you just want only one, so you just write df dot in square bracket the name of the columns that you want. So basically that's all about sorting. So I want to talk about largest too. So because you'll be needing this when we start the real data analysis. So let's say we want to call on the age. So in this case, if I should call on the age, it is returning, I'm sorry, it has to be in quotation mark. So data age, it is what do you expect that if I should run this, what am I trying to get? Data age, what am I trying to get? What do you think this particular line of code is representing?
The column.
The column, the age column in the data set, in the data, the one we represent, the one we are representing with what data. So if I should call on this one, control enter, so it is returning all the columns, all the age, all the values in the age column, right? So basically that's what we are calling here. So but I want to see what's the largest there. We all know that it is 90. So you want to write something like LN largest. So you can actually see this one is actually suggesting what you write here. So n largest means number, like this return the largest value. How many largest value do you want to see? Let's say probably you want to see the last 14. Let's just say 14. Yeah, let's just say 14. So we all know that it is returning 19. So if it is the smallest one, so you just change this one to smallest, and basically you can just see the smallest value. So these are just the basic data analysis that you want to do. So in case you want to do you want to do population analysis, you want to know which area is more populated. So you just call on the city and DF in square bracket, the city name, then N largest, then you will write, okay, this one is the most populated, this is the least populated city in the in particular country. So that's basically some basic analysis that you need, and you can derive your inference. So the next thing we'll be moving on to, which is this week, we were actually supposed to cover sorting last week. So the next thing we'll be moving on to is what we call what do we call it? We call it updating values. So I believe there is no question in the last with the one we are done with the one we just finished now. Updating values.
Yes, you
Okay,
can move on.
thank you.
Yes, sir, please, I have a question.
Okay, I can hear your question.
All right. Can we get access to the old data that you uploaded?
The one that I uploaded, this
Yes,
particular one,
the
the
one
one
you
I'm
uploaded.
working with.
Yes, the one you uploaded, the data that we are working with. I think
Hello?
it's time to add everything together because all it's
I
possible to
can't
get
hear.
access. Can you hear me?
The thing is, this particular data sets, right? It is actually real. It is real. I don't know if you understand what I mean by real. That it is real. It is something that people are still working with currently. Like these are real data. You see, Stephen Desha and Patricia Perkins, they are actually the names of real person. So it is not something I can just give out. You know, understand? That is, if this thing should leak, book Bautista, this is actually a real person in this particular world, right?
Okay, I think the question is I'm not saying you send it out. I mean from the Google Colab now. Can we have full access to the old data? Because I think it's trying to gather the old data together.
I still don't
Is it
understand the
possible that
question.
we have full access to the old data, just like we have in the Microsoft Excel?
Yeah, sure. What do you mean by old data? I can get the old data here now. So if I should just call on data here, right? These are the old data now. What do you mean by old data? I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm not getting the question. Oh, do you mean because they are
Ah,
caught there?
exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, this one just mean that you can see we have how many rows? We have like almost 19,000. How many
Yeah.
rows? Sorry, is it 190,000? So it's just returning some values that we you can see we have the topmost value and it is returning probably the middle. And you see we have 50,000 rows and 20 columns. So it is actually returning the 58,000 row, that is the head and the tail. So if you need something, there's actually a way to, but the thing is, if I should expand everything, Google Colab will be lagging. I don't know if you understand. There's something we call RAM and disk. So if I should, you can see something here. So you can actually see it is actually running on this is my disk. There's something I want to show you, which is GPU. Where do I get my GPU again? Anyway, GPU means the speed at which is working. If Excel or Google Colab is showing all the old data sets, it will be lagging. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, but it doesn't mean that it has cut off. You can still get values. Can you see? We can see 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, but if I should call something like data.edge, then I need the first 20 rows. Yeah, I need the first 20 rows. So I can still see access to my 9, 10, 11. If it is not cut off, right? I can see my 5, 6, 7, 8. It's just hidden. Just that the speed can be improved. Can be improved. Sorry. Do you understand? Not like it is cut off or something, right? So, but if you want to see your old data set, there's actually a code. I can't remember it currently, but I'll try to search it before tomorrow. And you can also upload your stuff in Excel, so you can use your Excel hand in hand with your Google Colab. Do you understand?
All right, thank you.
Okay, so we'll just move on to what we have for today. This is the technical part of what we have for today, which is sorting, updating values. So from the word update, this is basically easy. So let's call on our values before. So let's say we want to update values. That is, we want to change this particular name, probably this last name, would not like it is misleading. There are some data sets. There are some data set that you actually upload that we actually the column name will be misleading. Let's say you have last name, and what you can see there, you just have last. So you probably want to make it more interesting to read, so you want to change it to last name, or you want to change the value. Probably someone made a mistake while imputing Nigeria, probably in the country data set, in the country column. So you want to change Nigeria, probably he omitted some words, or he made a mistake while writing Nigeria. So you want to change it to the real one. So how do you update the values and stuff? So basically that's what we call data cleaning in Excel. So how do you do this kind of thing? And it is very, very easy. So let me take you through it. So let's call on our column. Let's start with column. So to call on my column, what will be the function I'll be writing? I want to call on my column. What will be the function I'll be writing? That's basically easy. We've said it today. Df dot what? I want to call on my column header.
df.column.
So it will be columns, right? Column with an S, right? With no brackets. So I can see I have last name, first name, and stuff. So let's say I want to change this. I can just write something like df dot columns. So now, when I call on this column, it is returning this, right? That is this column, this df dot column is returning this particular stuff. But I want to change it. Let's say I want to do something like I want to pass a list. I want to change instead of last name, I want something like surname. Oh, probably obviously this one will be in quotation mark because it is a string data type. So I want surname, then I want that one should be first name or real name. Let's say something like real name. Then instead of age, I want something like let's say wives. No, let's say cars. So you can see I'm changing the old data set, that is df.columns. Normally this df.columns denotes what? It denotes last name, first name, and age. But in this case, I'm telling you that dm.column should denote surname, real name, and car. So if I should run this one, control enter. So if I should call on df, so we can actually see it is running. We can see everything has been updated. Surname, real name, and cars. Everything has been updated. So you only use this particular type of stuff when you want to change the whole what do you call it? You want to change the whole column header. But in case you don't want to change the whole column header, how do you write the code? So you want to write something like um what should you write? Let's say df dots columns equals to, right, it's giving me option, but I don't know what I'm writing. Let's write df dots columns. So that is I can see df dot columns, right? That is this particular df dot column, which signifies last name, first name, age, right? I want to change it to something. Let's say df dot column dot string dot replace. No, don't let us take this one now. So yeah, I'm trying to see a better way to teach this thing. Okay, let's use this one. Sorry, I don't want to go to a complex one now. So we can also use this one, df dot columns, df dot rename, sorry, columns. Why is it giving me everything? So you can actually see we have df dot columns, then you can see equals to, we have surname. So probably you want to change your surname to, so it has to be in quotes, surname. Let's give me suggestion. So surname, let's say Ade. No, let's say last name. Let's change it back. Or let's just use something like last. So but probably this one is very easy. That is, rename the column surname. It should, and it should give us what's last. Am I getting an error? I'm trying to get where I get an error. Jeff, that's column. Incomplete imputes. What's supposed to be there? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out where I've done a mistake. Obviously, I can't use this one. Come on. Okay. I guess I did not add this particular column brackets. I guess that's the mistake. So probably what I just did right now is df dot rename, right? Column equals to surname, then change my surname. Whenever you see my surname header, change it to what's last. Basically, that's basically what I just did. So df in this particular data set, that is this particular data set, this rename this column. What particular column are we talking about? We are talking about the surname here. So rename it to be what? To be last. We can see. So let's call on my df again. Df. We can see I can still see surname, even though I've renamed it into last. And that's what we call something in place. So I want it to take effect in the real. What I've written here is just showing me, okay, if you want to take effect, this is how it will look like. Okay, I want to make it to take effect. So we want to write in place. When you write something like in place equals to 2. So you can actually see it is giving me that in place equals to 2. So you want to write something like in place equals to 2. So control enter. So if I should run df again, if I should run this one again, so you can see it is actually taking effect in the particular data set. And that's basically how to impute data. Let's say we want to change this particular cast to name age only now. So we want to do something like df. So we want to write something like df equals, sorry, df dot rename. What are we trying to rename? We are trying to rename a column. So you want to open your brackets. What column are you renaming? What column are you renaming? We are renaming the cars column, right?
Yes.
Into what? Into age. So this one will be age, right? So do you think this one will take effect on the data sets? There's still a mistake here. Oh, there should be an equals to, yeah. Sorry, that was the mistake in my part. So you can see equals to, then we have cars equals to age. Then you can see everything is age. But when I call on my df again, I can see the age has not taken any effect. So to take effect, I'll just write comma in place equals to 2. So basically what we've been doing is just data analysis in Excel. Not that. So now you can see if I should run this one again, control enter, then I can actually see everything has been changed to a page. So basically that's how to upload and change our data set name. So for example, I want to change this green name. I want to change it to uh what do you call it? To first name. So someone should just tell me. So how can I change it? PF dot someone
Rename. Here dot rename.
okay.
Open bracket, colon,
Okay.
equal
Okay.
to, then
What do you say? Hello, are you there? Hello.
hello, hello.
I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Okay, man. Okay. Yeah, rename.
So you can okay, rename.
Rename to what change to first name, right?
Yeah. So you can just add your first name here.
First
Okay,
name.
let's do something like this. First name. Okay, there's a mistake.
Then our input.
Sorry, there's a mistake in this particular code. I'm trying to see. I mean, you should know how to debug a lot, please. Everyone make mistake. I mean, it will look so easy. So it should actually be a column. So it should be what do you want? First name.
First name.
Please, you should know how to debug. Debug is just so that you can know where to. Okay, everything has been changed to real name. So when I call on, if I should call my DF again, so I can see everything is still renamed even though you've changed it to first name. So to
Yes,
actually
you put in place. It's
in placing cost to what?
true.
So so if I should call on DF again, so this rename I expect it to have changed to first name. So DF,
Yeah.
so you can see.
Yeah.
Okay, haven't I run this one? There's a mistake again. I don't know why. Let's try something.
Everything looks underscore.
What is it?
The underscore between first and name.
Doesn't matter. Does it? Guess
Yeah.
not. I don't know what's happening. I mean, it's correct. It looks correct to me. Okay, I don't know why the phone. Oh, this is where the problem is coming from. Real name should be N should be in capital letter. Can you see this small mistake? That is this N should be in capital
Yes,
letter.
yes.
I'm so sorry. Can you see? It's working now. We should take note that everything is case sensitive. As little as that, it can take like one night before you can. Sorry, I'm getting a mistake again. Okay, there should be calling back again. How have taken it? Okay, there should be no background. Okay, it's working now. So let me call this one. Okay, that's changed to first name. Do you understand how I debug that one? Who does not understand? Or who is not understanding what I'm doing? Who does not understand? Do you all understand what just happened right now? Muidin, do you understand?
And what just happened, but I don't understand how you debugged it.
Okay. So what we did was I was changing real name, right? So it's actually you can see real name, the N is with the capital letter. But what I was changing, that is I was turning this particular stuff is that rename what column, real name. But that real name has small letter. So it cannot dictate that the name is actually here. So I changed this one because as Python is case sensitive. So I changed it to look like this one exactly, and it looks like it and everything. Basically, it's just because of the N. If you rewatch the audio, you can see the first thing I was changing. The first thing that was there was just N, small letter N, and which is what I corrected. I just changed this one to capital letter N, and I pressed Ctrl Enter, and everything worked perfectly. So basically, what caused the problem is because I did not write this particular column name as it ought to be. That's the problem. And I changed it and it worked. Do you get now?
Okay. Yes, I understand. Thank you.
Okay. So let's move on. We still have a language to go. Okay. Okay, let's apply it to our data sets. So data dot columns. I want to see the columns. So I'm sorry. Now let's say this hospital A, right? You want to change it to this hospital A. I want to change it to first hospital. That is the first hospital the person was admitted to before he was being referred, right? So I want to change this hospital A to first hospital. So what will be the code? What will be the line of code I'll be writing here? Yeah. Who is volunteering? Anyone? What will be the line of code? That's basically easy, right? Oh yeah, now. Or should I call names? Bill me, will you try?
df dot rename
Yeah, that's your name. Okay.
open bracket columns
Okay.
is equals to
Okay.
curly bracket. Is it curly bracket?
Yeah, curly
Then
brackets. So what are we trying to do? So I don't want to make mistakes. So I just want to copy. I want to copy the stuff directly here. So I won't make mistake with writing it. I think that's better. So I want to change this one again. Control V. So remember, you have to put it in quotation mark, obviously. So what do you want to change it to?
first hospital. B.
So this one will be first
Hospital.
first hospital. So after that one, what will be the next thing? So if I should run this one, we can actually see.
This.
Oh, I'm writing
It's
DF.
not DM, it's
Oh,
data.
that's a problem. It's data.
No,
I don't understand why it is data. Why are we changing it to data? Hello, do you
No,
understand why I'll be
why?
taking this? This DF, what is it
No.
representing? What is DF representing? I can't, do you understand? I
The
want to change
second
this one
table
to
we
data,
created.
but I'm asking why I'm changing this one to data. Because when I run this one, can you see what is bringing out, which is not what we're expecting? What do you think? If I should change
Okay.
this one to data, if I change this one to data and run it, can you see it has actually changed to first hospital here? Because DF is representing the table we created, but this particular function is on the table we imported, which we represent with data. Do you understand? Do you
Oh,
understand?
okay. Yes, I do.
So now if you call data here, sorry, I can see where is it? Sorry. I can still see hospital A. That means it has not taken effect in the raw data. So how can you make it to take effect in the raw data? So you just want to write what after this one, comma. What do you want to write?
In
In
place.
place is equals to true.
Okay. Equals to what? Equals to two.
True.
So so let's rerun this one and see if it has taken effect here. So we can actually see it has taken effect. So that's how to update our column header. So how do we update our values? So do you understand? Boom.
Yes.
Boom, do you
I
understand?
had the poor
Yes.
connection.
Okay.
Please,
So we have
I have a
little time.
question.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a poor connection recently.
Um,
So, why are we adding the in place?
Oh, I explained the other time. I think your
Oh,
network you went off
yeah.
with that. So place, in place, can you hear me now? Adesola.
Yes, I can.
So in place means if I had not had this in place, it will not have effect in the real data. So this in place is just like if I had not had this one, it's just giving me the effect of okay, this is what I will be doing. This is the effect I will be adding to this particular data. So this in place means okay, do it. Do you understand? So if it is more like if I shoot someone, the person will die. So it is now giving me the I can picture how the person is going down, right? So basically that's what is happening. So whenever I now write in place equals to 2, that will pull the trigger and the person will actually die in real life. So basically, I don't know if that's a good representation, but in place, let's do another thing so you can actually see the effects. Let's call on Jeff. So let's call on data. But I don't want to write all this thing again. So let me just call on something like Control C. So I just copy it. Let's say I want to change this hospital A state. Let me just copy it here. Control C. Do you understand what I just did here? That is rename what column, this hospital A state, that is rename this column, change it to first hospital state, right? So I'm not writing in place equals to 2. I want to end it here, right? So you can actually see that it has taken effect in this particular data. But if you actually call your data, okay, my data sets, my real data sets, sorry. Okay, if I should call my data now, you can see it has not taken effect. We can still see we can see hospital A states in our data. But I want to change this hospital A state into what first hospital state. To change this thing into inside this code, I want to write in place equals to 2. This particular demo, just change it, just tell me that okay, if you actually write this code, this is what you will be getting. But once I add in place equals to 2, So in place equals to 2. Sorry, the T has to be in capital letter. So console enter. So if I should run this one again, if I should run this data again, now this hospital estate, let's check. Can you see it has changed to first hospital state? Do you understand now, Deshola?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go to the last one. I only have 9 minutes more because I want to end it by 3:30. Can we do this thing?
Please, do you have sorry, I want to ask if you have like recommended sites where we can get data sets, like maybe real or fake.
No,
Anyone?
no, I will send the one you will be using because I will send an assignment to you today. I'll send the data set
Oh,
today. The one, but
okay.
you know how to upload it for your ID. It's not necessarily that you use Google Colab. I think I've explained that when we are starting the class.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so you can use an account. I will send another one. I will send the stuff, but you'll be submitting it before tomorrow, tomorrow's class. So I actually don't want to go into the next one. That's a little bit complex. So basically, that's what I want to do is, in case we have a mistake, probably I want to change this Edo. Probably there's a mistake there, or this Federal Medical Center because it's too long. I want to change it to FMC. All those stuff. I want to change. Let's say male. I want to change it to man, then female. I want to change it to woman. The values, how do we change the values? I think we will be starting from there tomorrow. Basically, what we want to cover in this particular week should be updating. And yeah, we will be done before tomorrow. And let's see. So I will try to return to send an assignment immediately I'm done with the class. Not immediately, sure, but I'll send it before today's runs out. So someone should remind me if in case I not send it before 8 p.m. So, do you have any question? You can just end the class for today because actually, a lot of people complain that 2 hours is too long for class, and that's why we are trying to. I'm trying to stay within beyond. I'm trying to stay. Um, I'm trying to end the class before 1 hour 30 minutes.
All
Okay.
right, please. And don't forget to send the record videos also so that we can go through it before we do the assignment. Can you hear me?
Yes, the thing about recording is that when I record now, before I can get the recording myself, it will be almost after like 2 hours. So before I can upload it, it will be like at least 3 hours. So it's not my own fault, right? So when you are done, especially if it is something that is long, if it's meeting that is long, you don't get the recording immediately. So it takes some time to process. Do you understand?
All right. But make sure that you send it with also the assignment so
Yes,
that
when
we
I'm sending the assignment, I will try to send the link, the YouTube link also for the
can.
class. But everyone should submit before tomorrow's class, which is 2 p.m.
All right.
Okay. Do you have any question, any gray areas? In case you have any question, you can rewatch the movie. Sorry, I said movie, the class, or you can type it in my DM. Okay, have a good day. Bye.